All right, so new interview. We are here with Flex Toaster. He's been in my Discord for I think how long have you been in my Discord?
I don't
I
know, a
think
few months, I
three,
think.
4 months. Yeah, three or four
Yeah,
months. So the way I met him is his dad was in my Discord longer than me, longer than you, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He
So
got in there first.
so his dad's been in my Discord. I text him quite a bit. They live in Florida, so he helps me with some Florida things. But really cool dude. And then his son ended up joining. And you are a paid student, so this is not a free student, but that doesn't mean you can't learn for free. Okay, I really try to emphasize that because people are like, "Oh, this is not a paid student. You can only learn." Okay, that's not true. You can learn from YouTube if you want. Um, so what's up, man? How long have you been trading?
I started trading like during GameStop, so I think that was February 2020 or 2021.
And my question is, did GameStop did that spike your interest?
No, I mean I was interested in like trading since I was in high school.
Okay, so the GameStop
Yeah,
thing didn't influence you anymore, right?
no, it just I was like, oh, there's a lot of money that can be made here.
Yeah, you're like, oh, cool. This is pumping like 5 million trillion dollars, and you're like, yeah, I gotta get in this. Did you ever get in GameStop or AMC?
Yeah, and just blew everything that I had.
Damn,
Yeah,
I got AMC at like 9, and I think I sold it like 13 because I don't even get in with that much money. I made like $4 per share. I'm like, damn, like I actually just made money on line on the screen, and that was the first time it ever hit. Like that was the first time it ever hit me. I was literally in AMC. I remember waking up the next day. I was up like $200, and I'm like, dude, this is the number on a screen, and I'm up $200. Like it just felt so real because I wasn't used to that feeling. But then
right.
after that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna learn to trade now. Um, so you started in 2020. When did you find me or ICT first?
Neither. So I actually don't know anything really about ICT at all.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I've paid for like a few courses. I paid for Carmine Rosanto or whatever his name is. I
Carmen
paid for
Rosado.
I paid for his course, studied the entire thing.
That
Um,
that man is getting making so much money off that.
he is. Do you also know 20 Minute Trader?
No, I don't.
It's like starting to kind of blow up. It was a very expensive course. Paid for that. I don't know, like
Damn.
they're good strategies. The styles just don't work like very well for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hmm.
Okay. And so before anyone clicks off because it's like, oh, you just don't watch ICT videos. I have taught people iFVGs only, liquidity, fair value gaps, who have never watched a day of ICT in their life. Like it can be done. Knowing
Yeah,
the extra stuff is good, like background, but you technically don't need it. But knowing it is good. So I'm not gonna say don't watch the videos because I think you should, but just so everyone knows that it can be done without it. So you never watched ICT videos. When did you find like so? And then you found me first, obviously, right?
and so my dad told me that he was like in this new kids Discord, and he kind of told me your story a little bit, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I had
Yeah.
actually asked him for like the course information, like all the login, and he said no. So I was like, okay, fine. Like I guess I'll just pay for it then.
Really?
Um,
Really? Hey, tell
yeah,
me tell me your dad. If it was me, I would have said yes. I don't care, but
yeah, I know. So I ended up paying for it. I think I watched like maybe one or two of your videos, and I had already read a lot of books on trading, and like I had a very good understanding of how the market operated. But
yeah.
when you explained a fair value gap in one of your live streams, I was like, oh, this is just cheating at this point. It makes so much sense to me.
Exactly. Okay, that makes sense. And was it an inverse fair value gap or a normal fair value gap?
Inverse fair value gap.
Okay. And you're like, oh, this is a zone. It's a good zone. And if it breaks, we dump a lot in the other direction or something. Like, is that what you thought, or what were your thoughts on the fair value gap breaking?
Yeah, I mean, it made a lot of sense that like because there's also just like a 50% Fibonacci retracement, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, cool. Like you're just kind of you're fading everybody else in the market.
Yeah.
Um, and when you do that and you close over, it makes a lot of sense to just continue pumping.
Exactly. Exactly. Because it's almost like you're just fading such a high volume institutional candle or algorithmic candle, whatever you want to call it. And if that gets reversed, then it makes sense to just go in the other direction, and that's why I love this strategy.
Yeah.
Did you ever try trading fair value gaps normally, like not inversions?
Yeah, so I tried. I like played around with it with a few accounts just for fun when I first got into your Discord.
Yeah.
The I think like 3 accounts just blew up because
Yep.
I'm like, I don't know where my stop loss should be. I don't know what I'm risking off of anything. Um,
Okay.
for sure, sometimes they do work and they work really well, but most of the time I find that they get inversed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. It just depends, honestly. Um, like there's a few that work today just fine, but they're also inverses. Now, so what's your success been with iFVGs? Like, have you gotten payouts?
Yeah,
Um,
so I mean, I can't speak on like the entire year of payouts,
yeah.
but I've taken at least, I don't know, $10,000 in payouts using
Okay.
iFVGs.
Just from inversions.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And and what would you what like non-financial advice would you give to someone who's like, oh, I want to make $1 million and get a ton of payouts? Like, what would you tell them?
I mean, like probably just like don't trade a ton of accounts, just trade a couple, like get really, really good and really, really disciplined,
Yeah.
fully understand what you're looking for, and then like slowly compound getting more and more accounts because
Okay.
I've done it before where I have 1 or 2 accounts, they're going super well. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll get 10 accounts now. And then
Yeah.
I don't know, like something psychological. I just blow all 10 very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's like the stair step method. Like trade two. If you can trade two, okay, go up to four. You know, if you can do that, trade up to six. And that's something that I did too at the start. Right now, I'm copy trading 17 at the moment. So again, we'll see if I get a payout or not. But Apex, they keep changing the rules. But honestly, the way I trade, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
So who, by the way, whose code did you use for Apex?
I would honestly, I would go between you and trades by Matt.
Ah, trades by
Yeah.
dude, trades by Matt.
Yeah.
That dude is making like 10 times more than me off code
I
off
know.
affiliate. It's crazy. Um, it's yeah, it's just I know how much he makes. It's just I want to throw up. Okay. Um, uh, okay, so let's get back on topic. When you started learning about IPG, did you have any doubts? Like, did you have any doubts when your dad was like, "Oh, there's this new kid I joined"? Because Carmen Rosado is not really like he's not as young as me. I don't know about the other guy, but were you like skeptical at first or?
Um, I mean, like maybe a little bit, but at the
Yeah,
same time, my dad's like the due diligence master.
yeah.
Like the guy takes 5 weeks to decide on, what kind of spatula he should buy for the kitchen. So when
That's
he,
funny.
yeah, when he had told me about it, I was like, oh, I don't know. Like I'll just, whatever. You have 7 days free. I hopped in, watched,
Yeah.
and uh, I think I just watched a few of your trades, and I totally signal botted for like the first week or two because I was
Yeah,
like,
that's fine.
I'm gonna see if this actually works,
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
it worked at a higher rate than it lost, and I was like, yeah, this makes total sense. I'm just gonna fully commit.
Yeah, the one thing I don't tell people a lot, and if you were watching this video, this is a little gem that I've never said this before. You can choose your own destiny. And by what I mean by that is there will be textbook trades on IPGs that will only be 1 hour to equal highs. And you can, even though you know they're going to work, you can skip out on those and you can truly, truly wait for those 4 hour trades because there's a lot of 4 hour trades you see. They come like I would say like twice a week. And they're just super obvious as equal highs above. But there's also a lot of 1 hour trades. And you don't have to take those. Like if I go to the chart now, which obviously you won't be able to see this, but let me just show you an example. Like, oh, this is a good example right here. Um, so like right here, like this is generally like this is one of those trades that can go a lot more than 1 hour, and I can't. The only way you can explain why is because look, we had equal lows on here. Like this is a certain signature price, so there's a singular inverse. We swept this high, and like what if these equal lows were here? Well, then it wouldn't be 3R. Okay, well then maybe you skip it. But there are gonna be like two, 3 setups of the week that are gonna be 3R or more. You can literally just wait for these and not take the other ones, even though you know they're likely gonna work. So that's definitely something really important that you just gotta understand. You could even target it here. Like you could try this 5 times, get stopped breaking it 4 times. Oh, then all of a sudden you're at a 6R if you don't take partials. Like that's like a you could do that. It's just you choose your own destiny with iFVGs. So my question is, when you started learning iFVGs, like you signaled out on me at first, and did you end up like kind of taking your own iFVGs? Like, okay, I do like this one, even though Dodgy doesn't really like it that much.
Yeah, there were plenty where you would give like low setups or I would already be in before you would even like talked about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
And you'd give it like a bad setup or something, and I'm like, I made the decision, I want to be in it, so I'm just gonna
yeah.
see
Because
what happens here.
maybe you have a different kind of conviction than me, right?
Yeah, like there was I think today, it's what, October 22nd.
Yep.
Um yeah, that pre-market short, that 3 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took that all the way down to the lows and I was just like, sweet, cool, I'm done for the day.
Yeah, that was
Um
so good. I knew AM was gonna be so bad after that played out. I just knew it.
Terrible.
Whenever you get a really good short pre-market and also the London session range, it's just gonna be terrible and open, and it just sucked. It's like a different algo switches on at 9:30. It's unreal. I don't know why it does that, but so yeah, this is a really good trade. And I was driving, or else I would 100% taken this,
Right.
which is unfortunate, but it's all good. And I know a lot of people in chat took it as well, even in my free chat. Um, okay. What do you think the hardest part about learning iFVGs was?
Honestly, like being able to be patient and look for good setups.
Okay.
Because yeah, go
So
ahead.
did you ever jump into a setup and it was kind of a mid, and then 5 minutes later, after getting stepped out, you see another setup and it's like, oh my god, this is textbook. Why didn't I just wait? Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And like, what do you do? Like, what are you thinking in that situation?
I mean, in that situation, I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm going to take this next one. I
Yeah.
really try not to let like the previous trades affect my decision making because it's so common that you take like a loss or like a bad setup and you're just concerned that you're going to take another loss on the day.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Where, yeah, whereas I'm more so trying to look at like, uh, let's say that you have like a six-sided dice and you have a, I don't know the percentage, but like an 80% win rate.
Yeah.
You can roll your dice and keep rolling a one like 5 times in a row
Yeah.
before you start rolling the other 80%. And you're just, yeah, like sometimes you just have a streak of losers and then it kind of all equals out.
Yeah, I got you. Um, okay, that makes sense. Um, okay. Now, what do you say? I asked everyone this question, but is what's the hardest part? Learning the model or just discipline and psychology?
Discipline psychology. That's the
Yeah,
only difficult part of this.
I agree. Okay, I see. Some people are. There's one person who tried to tell me, "Oh, psychology doesn't mean much," and they just must have a different life because almost 90% of people I know blow their account because of discipline and psychology, not because of the IFG model. The IFG model is good.
Mhm.
Now, what's your biggest losing streak?
Uh, Biggest losing streak, like in a day or like over like a
Yeah,
period of a week.
yeah,
I don't know, maybe like a couple days or something. Not long. I think on my I'm not allowed to use Apex accounts anymore. I'm banned from them. So I have top step accounts and I haven't taken a single losing day in the past like 15 or 16 days.
So you're banned from Apex because they didn't let you buy more eval accounts because you were one of the 1,000 people, right?
Yeah, whatever that whole thing was.
Yeah. What I do is I blow an account on purpose after I get a payout on some of the accounts, just so that doesn't happen to me. If here's the thing, if you don't like, I have other sources of income though, so to me it's like okay, I'll blow this. I don't want to be in a live account, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I guess it really depends on the scenario if you want to do that. So I know someone who got moved to a Top Step live account and they tried taking an IFVG and they're filled above the swing high, and it wasn't even close. It's a horrible fit. Like, I'm like, dude, I know they're trying to rig you on a live count. It sucks.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't want to deal with that. And that's what I did with Apex accounts. I would take the $2,000, blow the account, and that was it.
yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But I don't like how they did that. But you gotta do what you gotta do. And at the end of the day, I can't give you advice on what to do there. It's just it depends on what your circumstances. So, yeah. Now, do you do like do you go to break even? Do you do the break even rule, or how do you manage your break evens? Like when you go to break even?
Yeah, so um, I look obviously for a target to go to break even, but I also typically end up scaling normally at your break even target. Um,
Interesting. So a little
yeah,
quicker than me sometimes.
yeah. I also trade a larger size than you on average, though.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're
So
doing more size, less points.
yeah, but I'll still let the trade run super long.
Yeah.
But like from what I see, like the first or second fair value gap is typically the best one for the day, and then all the other ones are like
They're hit or
kind of
miss.
yeah, like we need that early morning volatility. So like I'll go in with anywhere from like 5 to 10 micros.
Yeah.
We're up 10 points. I move stop to break even, scale to target, half of the position, and then I have 5 micros to just kind of let run and do whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and that works really well for me, especially with the top step rule where you have to do $200 a day to receive a payout, which
Yeah. Yeah.
can be a
Which
little annoying.
yeah, it's an annoying rule because it's like having a daily target goal is horrible in my opinion because you'll start to force setups when it's like let's say you made 150 bucks, you're like okay, I got to make 50 more. That's when you blow your account.
Yep, that's
Dude,
happened plenty of times.
that's a horrible mindset. So yeah, like I'm running the top sub account right now with students doing the poll, and one day I was up like 100. I just logged off of it. I don't care. I was up $100. I just stopped, but um, you can't worry about that. The $200 day will come when it comes. You can't just try to go for that. Now you can be aggressive and try to go for that, but it's harder and it takes a lot more skill. And I had done it before, but it's hard. Okay, it's not easy for someone. Not someone watching this interview. I would not tell them to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't
So
recommend anybody trades the way that I trade. Like I'm very aggressive on everything. I have a huge risk
yeah,
tolerance. Like it really
and you
doesn't bother
just
me at all.
yeah, you just have a different personality, and some people are gonna have different
Yeah.
personalities, and that's okay. So, what are your future goals?
Um,
Like, do you want to make
yeah,
this a full time thing? Do you have other passive incomes? Do you have what are you trying to do?
yeah, it's a really good question. I don't totally know.
Okay,
Currently, I have a job. I trade at work.
yeah,
Um, I think my dad had even told you that I was just trading full time for a few months, like supporting myself doing that.
yeah.
And then a job offer came around and it was a lot of money. And they told me, like, look, you can still trade if it's just 30 minutes to an hour every day. And I was like,
Interesting.
yeah, I'm not going to
That's
say no
cool.
to this much money because,
That's cool. That's
yeah,
cool. That's a really cool. Um, Interesting. So you were full time for a couple months, which I remember your dad told me.
yeah,
And then when the job talked to you, you're like, hey, I trade. Can I trade for an hour a day?
yep. I was like, it's in the morning. I'm efficient. Like, I know exactly what I'm doing work wise. So if I have to stay late and do whatever, it's fine. But I'm a salaried employee. So if I need to,
Yeah.
show up late or stay
And
late, I
what
guess.
and did they give you much of a response to that? Like how they're like, oh yeah, or did they say anything about it? Did they ask you questions or
I was interviewing directly with the CEO, so he was just kind of like, "Dude, I don't care what you do as long as you handle your stuff, you're good."
okay, interesting. So that's
Yeah,
cool. That's cool. That's WCEO right there.
yeah,
Um okay, so yeah, I guess that's a good goal and I mean, I guess it relieves the pressure on trading a little bit. Did you
it
feel any
does.
different when you were full time?
Yeah, because you're at a point where you're like, "Okay, I have to pay my rent, I have to make my car payments,
Yeah.
I have to support myself, I have to do all of this stuff,
Yeah.
and you got 30 days." And for me, I needed to make close to $10,000 a month.
Interesting.
So I was like, it's
Yeah.
I have to get this done. Otherwise, like I either have to go into savings or
Okay.
borrow money,
Did
which I
you
don't want to do.
did you trade better or worse?
Uh the swings were very different. I would go on like a really, really good streak, and then I would get tilted, and I like would blow a few accounts.
Okay.
Um,
But they're prop firm accounts, right?
yeah,
So
prop firm
yeah,
accounts.
so when he says blow a few accounts, you gotta remember prop firm accounts are like 10R, maybe even more than that. So one blown account, if you get a payout, is nothing really in the grand scheme of things. So like,
Yeah,
it almost sounds bad, like, oh, he blew accounts, how's he full time? But it's math, okay? And anyone who doesn't understand prop firms, it's all math. And honestly, blowing a prop firm account, like, it's not the end of the world at all. That's all I'm gonna say. And if you know, you
yeah,
know. Okay. So that's interesting. So definitely you felt more pressure, right?
yeah. There was definitely more pressure, and now that I have like a very stable income,
Yeah.
I notice that the trading is substantially easier. I'm
Exactly.
not,
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm not pressed to take a trade every single day. Like I
Yeah.
didn't take anything on Friday. I was just like,
Yeah.
not feeling it.
Yeah. I get that. Friday wasn't that good. So yeah, that's why. So I'm trying to get in real estate right now, and I want to be able to live just off real estate, not my Discord, not my trading, not anything, not anything, my affiliates, nothing, none of that. I want to take all that out of the picture and just want to live off of real estate only. But and then everything else is gonna be extra. So that's my next goal, and that would really relieve trading because it's like, oh, I have real even if I lose, I still have real estate coming in. That's always my thing because Discord isn't guaranteed. Um, Discord could shut down tomorrow.
Yeah,
Um, trading technically isn't guaranteed. Trading isn't guaranteed because you never know if you're going to win or lose.
mhm,
And like affiliate codes, that's not guaranteed. What if a prop firm shuts down? Real estate, I think, is the most concrete about all those, and houses are always going to appreciate and go up. So it's like, and then obviously, as long as I tenants, which tenants aren't guaranteed, but you can find tenants pretty easily,
right.
then that's just more stable, right? But with trading, it's technically not stable income. So it just definitely relieves the pressure and it's something that I want to do. So I mean, yeah. Um, so yeah, I think that's really it for the interview, man. Appreciate you coming on. Um, one last question. What non-financial advice would you give anyone right now who's watching this interview?
I don't know, just probably like watch your YouTube videos if they're interested in getting into trading,
Okay.
and understand that the statistic of 90% of traders fail is real. 10% are profitable. So just
And
decide to be
why?
part of the 10%.
Why? Why? Why do you think that is? What happens to the 90% of traders?
They get upset, they get like tilted, it doesn't matter. It's a very heavily psychological game.
Yeah.
Like never trade your P&L. Just look at the chart and
I don't even
just
look at my
that
P&L.
alone. Yeah,
Exactly. I don't even look at P&L. So yeah, all right, there you have it. Appreciate you coming on, man, and I will see you later. So you can
sounds good.
just exit the call if that's all right.
Yeah, totally. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, bye.
See ya. All right, so I've known his dad for a little bit. He's like, you should do an interview with my son. I'm like, okay, so pretty cool. Um, Yeah, so he's definitely someone who's learned quick. Like he learned my stuff quicker than most. Is for some people it clicks, some people doesn't. It definitely clicked for him. Clearly, it didn't take him years to learn what I was teaching. He was like, I'm gonna watch for 2 weeks, see if I like it. And he watched for 2 weeks, and it kind of picked it up fast. So you may not be like that, but if you want it that bad, you can pick it up faster than you think. If you don't want it, then it might be a little longer. You're gonna be lazy. You're not gonna go in depth. Your brain's not gonna retain anything I'm saying. So you just gotta be mindful of that. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this interview. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, leave a like, and yeah, that's basically it for this video. Peace.